What up YouTube, it's Mr. Hayes Company. In this video, we're going to be showing you the very best solo and group challenge rift and elder rift build for your wizard. That's right, solo challenge rift, solo elder rift, whatever you're running. This is a fantastic and flexible build just for you guys. And I'm really excited to start bringing you guys more builds, especially about the wizards. That is my main, but I will be bringing you any and all guides, but this one in particular, we're focused on the wizard. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. Okay, so first things first, in this video, I'm gonna just on a high level talk about the legendary gems because it's pretty random on what you're gonna be getting, and I don't wanna be wasting a lot of time on it, but there are some in particular that I would look out for. The first one that I would recommend is Everlasting Torment, and that would be because it does increase your critical hits. Your critical hits infect Agony, dealing 15% base damage plus 122 every second for 6 seconds. So it's just, again, damage. All in all, when you're looking at DPS and doing the most damage, you want to focus on things that give you more damage. Fun fact. Another one that I would highly recommend is that I feel like everyone actually recommends is the Berserker's Eye. Again, these are all one star legendaries because this is a very free-to-play build. I would not focus on anything other than the 1-star legendaries. And this one does increase all damage you deal by 10% and increases your critical hit chance by 1.5%, but also increases the damage you take by 5%. So again, if you're playing your wizard right, you're going to be playing away from everyone else, both PvE and PvP, so it's going to be in your most interest to stay away but do as much damage as you can from a distance. Another gem, two that I would actually recommend, this is kind of like the top three. The next one is Chain Death, increases damage done by your attacks by 1.8% per target hit, up to maximum of 9% with 5 targets. Again, so with this build, we are focusing on movement as well as AoE damage. And this is going to be a fantastic legendary gem for you. Another 1-star gem that I would recommend is Carson's Invigoration, which does increase the speed of your primary attack by 8% and the damage of your primary attack by 1%. The reason I like this one's a little bit different, is that it kind of helps your main skill that we're going to be choosing to do a little bit more damage and increase the speed at which you get to cast it. And this is going to be particularly helpful when you're doing the in-game bosses in those Elder Rifts or Challenge Rifts when it is just a solo target fight. All right, so moving on, I want to show you the legendaries that we're talking about. As you can see, we already have the head, so we'll go ahead and talk about this one first. So this legendary item is called Lion's Resonant Wisdom. Teleport now conjures a lightning cloud at your destination, dealing 2,185% damage to all nearby enemies over 2.5 seconds. This one is huge. This one is going to make your teleport, which you're going to be using, which you have 3 charges of, I remind you, that it now makes it a damage ability. So instead of just having 3 damage abilities and 1 like transportation or teleportation ability, now you have 4 full damage abilities, and this is a lot of damage, and it gets stronger. So moving on to the shoulders, you probably guessed this one, Shoulders of the Cataclysm, and this one is going to give meteor damage increase by 10%. This is the bread and butter of this whole build, so I would highly recommend that. Next one is going to be Wind Shaper for the main hand, and this one, Hungering Wind. Arcane Wind now summons a tornado that follows enemies and continually damages all enemies in its path. It does a ton of damage, and it gives you that Firestorm, which is again the bread and butter of this build. Moving on, we have the Star Caller's Drapery. This one gives you meteor radius increase by 20%. It is a big difference, especially in the dungeons when you group everyone together and then you drop the meteor. You're going to know when it hits, that's for sure. Moving on, we have the Rift Dancer's Stride, and this makes teleport now targets a location where it also damages all nearby enemies. Again, more damage to your teleport is just beautiful. This one is a very unique one that I just recently switched to, and I'll show you which one I've been using, and I'll let you guys decide which one you would like to do. So for this one, it's called the Siphon. This one, casting Lightning Nova temporarily increases your movement speed by 60%, which is a very, very quick movement speed when I am in a true solo party by myself going into the Elder Rifts or Challenge Rifts. I do like this one, but I do want to make note of another very viable option here. So for this one, I would actually recommend as a good alternative is the Unrepentant Gale, which is a maximum arcane wind charges by 1. You can actually get 2 firestorms by spamming your arcane wind on top of each other, on top of the meteor once it lands on the ground, and you can do a ton of damage with that, both for single target and multi-target. I like this when I'm in a full group pushing high level Elder Rifts, or maybe even you're doing challenge rifts with a friend or 3. But this is definitely a decent option as well. I did want to make note of that. But when you're running completely by yourself, which is what we're talking about in this video, this is the build for you. Now, the other option, the only thing I would mention as well is when it comes to your charm, again, a lot of it's just, a lot of it is just complete RNG. I've seen a lot of people that only have 1 of these still. I got hyper lucky, and I actually unlocked, I think, 3 of these as I was upgrading this 1 charm, so I got very lucky. Now, I don't actually use Electrocute or Slow Time all that often, but I do use Meteor and Teleport, which is fantastic. So I do get an additional 2% damage for both of those. And I will keep these here for now until I do roll this last one into a wizard one. And then from that, I'll re-roll these other 2 if I still do not use them. But it's hard to say because as we unlock new set items and legendaries, maybe those 2 skills will be more beneficial than they are currently, which is a great transition to the skills. And that's what I want to talk to you about next. So for our skills, the first one I use, well, I guess we start with the main skill, is the magic missile, which launches a missile of magic energy dealing 3,639 to 5,094 damage. Again, this is very single target focused, and we do get a little bit buff to the attack speed and damage on the build that we're using. Next up is going to be Lightning Nova. This one is super fun as it does hurl 10 balls of lightning away from you in all directions, dealing 2,071 damage as they pass outward. So again, it goes outward and then it comes back in, returning to your new location. So let's say if you teleport both in or out, this will also hit them again. Hits 2 and beyond on a target only deal 30% of the damage, which is fine. Meteor. So this one is, again, we have the increased radius and the increased damage from the charm and the shoulders. So this one is a 9-second cooldown, summons an immense meteor that plummets from the sky, dealing 5,395 damage and stunning all enemies that impact the area for 3 seconds. The ground it hits is scorched, burning enemies for, again, over 6 seconds for 4,524 damage. Now, following your meteor, you want to go straight into Arcane Wind, which unleashes a blast of whirlwind in a direction, dealing 4,439 damage and knocking away enemies. Charging longer increases the range, knock away. Now, this is not what it is now. Now it is the Arcane Wind now summons a tornado that follows enemies for 5 seconds, continually deals 11,650 damage to enemies in its path. Again, this is from the main hand. Last but not least, we have Teleport. So teleport forward, maximum charges 3 seconds, or 3 charges, with a total cooldown of 15 seconds per charge. Teleport now does 6,413% damage to all nearby enemies, and also conjures. This one is the one that didn't tell you what the damage was on the legendary, but when you look in here, it's actually better than the other one. But when you combine them together, you do a ton of damage, which is what we're looking for in this build. So teleport now conjures a lightning cloud at your destination, dealing 2,185 damage to all nearby enemies for 2.5 seconds. So that is going to do it for our build. I actually want to go ahead and go into a Elder Rift to show you guys what it looks like. So let's jump straight into it. All right, so here we are at the Elder Rift. We're just gonna be doing 3 of these bad boys of the normal crest. Go and hit enter and let's get straight to it. Now I am doing this on PC, so of course I have mouse and keyboard controls compared to using my phone, but I am pretty versatile in all. So let's go ahead and see how we would get started. First things first, you want to remember you get a 60% bonus for your attacks when you are using your Lightning Nova, which I am right there. Here I am looking for the skulls on the ground, doing big damage to them and blowing them up. Get these orbs real quick, and then we will continue our mission. We got these ooze on the ground, which I'm trying to dodge as we hit people, collecting more and more and more. And we are looking for more skulls. All right. Well, I got stuck on the wrong hallway. So again, if I had to teleport up, I could have jumped over that wall. Misplay on myself there, but here we are doing just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in this corner so we can drop some big bombs. All right, moving on. I think I've actually ever done this dungeon before. All right, so as you can see, teleport does a lot of damage still, and then Firestorm just does a crippling amount of damage. We're already halfway through this dungeon in terms of the XP that we need from the orbs. I'm not going to waste my time on these guys. All right, again, you want to look for and prioritize those skulls. I am damaging people as I can, though. There we go. That way I pull them with me, and eventually they may catch up, they may not. It's okay if they don't. Here we go, we got a big boy, and let's do some big damage there. Now again, with the Lightning Nova, the closer you are to them, the more damage you're going to be doing. Make sure I don't die, that would be embarrassing. See how close we get with these orbs. Pretty close. All right, we need more. All right, again, I teleported in and did my, there we are. My Lightning Nova, once I hit the ground, let's go ahead and get this. And then let's blow up the boss. So again, now we are focusing more on our, wow, get freaking slapped on guy. Now I'm looking at more of my single target focus with my autos, making sure I'm staying out of her range so I don't get slapped again. All right. I got slapped again, but there we are. I did end up killing her as I got slapped. So that's the build that I run. Again, it's very quick, at least in my opinion. There are some little things that I could have done better in that run, but all in all, just a couple minutes there, and it was pretty easy. So as you get better gear and higher stats in your combat rating, it will become even easier as well. And the more you see different types of dungeons, again, the easier it'll be because you will know all the routes to take. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and let me know in the comments below what build you want to see next, because the next one that I plan on working on is the PvP build for the wizard, but I want to go ahead and get this one out first. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next. And until next time, lock it in.